After the Nets experienced an absolute shellacking at the hands of the Kings on Tuesday night, a response was needed, and boy did they deliver. I could roll off a list of commendable stat lines. Royce O'Neal with a game winner to be the cherry on top of a triple-double performance, KD with a quiet 35, Joe Harris with a 4-3 first half, Ben Simmons finally delivering on what we knew he was bottling up inside, but none were more outstanding than the Japanese sniper, Yuta Watanabe. 20 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 made free throws, and 5 3-pointers. And whilst the plus-minus would suggest that Yuta contributed negative minutes, the truth couldn't be any further from it. So you may be asking, how did Yuta save the Nets in this game? Uta's second half consisted of shooting 5 of 5 from 3. And as we've seen over the course of the season, Uta's high efficiency from 3 is all about him getting to the right spots where he's found success. Even on his misses, you can see the shots are taken from very similar areas. And if we look at his shot chart from this season, my point remains the same. On nearly every offensive possession, he either darts to the corners or mixes it up with a late backdoor cut to the basket. The season stats reflect that. He's 14 of 19 on corner threes in comparison to shooting an average 35.5% above the break. He's also shooting an incredibly impressive 76.2% in the restricted area. And that's why Yuta is shooting at a whopping 55.5% on 3-pointers this season, 60% overall, with a 77% true shooting percentage. At times, watching as a fan, it's incredibly frustrating when players continue to force low percentage shots, though Yuta has defied this by displaying his smarts as a basketball player. He does nothing but contribute positively because he considers where he can extract the best out of himself as a player. We can also notice in this game specifically the timing of his shots. Down 7, knocks it down to 4. On an 11-0 run, makes it 14-0, giving us the all-important momentum going into the last. Down 4, sends it back to 1. Up 2, sends it to a 2-possession game, forces a timeout. Final 2 minutes, once again sends it to a 2-possession game. These shots either keep us well in touch, provide important breaks in a close game, or keep the run going. Whilst it's very easy to favour the shots that he made down the stretch, I think his third quarter scoring punch was equally valuable. He enters the game with the team down 7, and from the 7:05 minute mark to the 3:36 mark, when we find ourselves down 11, he's actually scored 5 of our 7 points in that 3.5 minute period. So keeping us afloat in that period was vital. And then from the 2:27 mark all the way down to 0, Yuta scores or assists on all but one sequence. Sensibly cutting to the basket, getting within reach of a foul call, hitting the open man, or finding his spot as we've mentioned. And look, we can talk about the tangibles all we want, but what about the intangibles? On one possession prior to the end of the third quarter run, Yuta tracks down a rebound and KD would have had free throws if the refs were actually watching the game. You need to force stops at a critical stage where the game could fall out of hand, and Utah's defensive contest with length impacts the Simons 3. Little would you know, that sparks an offensive rut for Portland and a fight back by the Nets. And with Dame on the bench, Yuta is on Simons again after a switch, and he forces a pass not once, but twice. And the stagnant play by the Blazers forces another miss. Watanabe showing Simons respect for his game in picking him up well outside the 3-point line, who scored a tough shot over the top of him earlier, has paid dividends. Then, the next possession he stays with his opponent and forces yet again another miss, as Little has to shoot over the outstretched arm. Moving forward to the last, Yuta did an exceptional job on Damian Lillard. The understanding on this possession to help defend at the exact point of no return for Dame in his layup attempt means he has to force a tough shot over 2. A towering rebound here lures a foul, and given our rebounding struggles, especially when we need a stop, force a stop but undo our hard work in failing to secure, these things are so important because a second chance opportunity here could change the game. In this case, an opportunity to tie the game, get the crowd involved, and swing momentum. Then he forces a miss by Dame, forces a pass by Dame, and given we know what he's capable of in the big moments, handing responsibility to the lesser experienced is exactly what we want, given the offensive struggles the Blazers experienced in the last, and how hard it is for those guys to fall out of that slump. The same things happen a couple possessions later. Dame's obviously got to risk getting blocked if he tries to shoot over the top of the tight contest, so forcing Simons into a big shot is probably something you can live with. Rinse and repeat, same thing again. Winslow shooting contested layups, of course we live with that. And I'll tell you what, Utah does not shy away from it either. Mind you, the Nets switch absolutely everything, but he doesn't seem threatened at any stage by the challenge. If anything, Dame's displaying that mindset. And again, Dame's shooting a sidestep 3, which granted you back him into hit, but Utah is ever present and is there every step of the way. Dame's faced with a pretty difficult task given the shot selection, and it's no surprise we earn another stop. Utah, once again, the pioneer. What do you extract from this? Utah is the ultimate glue guy. He does a little bit of everything. You don't usually see him turn the ball over or make stupid errors. You see him clearly utilize what he spent so much time working on. And as a result, he's nothing but a positive asset on the floor. It will remain no surprise if he can continue this form, given what he's displayed so far on the season. And there's no doubt that he may potentially become a known name around the league by other NBA supporters. I'm sure as hell going to own the fact that I think he is my favourite player this season on the Nets. Tell me your thoughts on the subject. I hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you soon. Bye.